So for my first test today, I just came in here and told the platform to take off, go to 30 feet, and then I told it to loiter the first time I told it forever, and that's what it created for my commands. So I came in here and I changed this 100 to 30 because I did one of these the other day and forgot I had my default altitude right here set at 100 feet. I probably could change that. I'll think about that later. Anyway, then I run this right to the waypoints to platform buttons right here. And so that's the first flight. First two flights I flew. Wanted to come back here and loiter. Have to look at that a little more. Flights afterwards got to where they were using the home out here in the yard. I'm not too sure. You'll see what happens here. The first time I ran the auto mission,
they do seem to be
lost altitude as it was coming backwards.
That's great.
So
Where the hell are you going?
Stabilize mode right there, and hit full up throttle, and stepped around the eave so I could see it.
Come back here, you little shit.
That was the first flight. I don't think the barometer.
Ooh, it's windier than I thought.
Ready.
Come down here. Thank you. Well, that didn't do nothing. It didn't do nothing like I wanted it to.
Did you bury the other one?
Yeah, I buried it. I left it a little up. That takes some practice, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially when they get away from you like that.
Oh, yeah.
You better keep your cool.
The second one did better. I think they need to sit in the heat of the day. And this one does go back to the same place to do its 10-second, or for loaded forever. And then I flipped the RTL right during the launch switch to send it back.
Ah, looky up yonder. Should I go play tag with him?
I figure for the first time I'm doing 2 at the same time and then 3 at the same time. Just send them up to an altitude, tell them to load there forever. If I can then look the return to launch and tell them return to launch on the radio, I know that I've got some safety to interrupt the auto mission, etc. So that one worked. I think the barometer just needs to become the same temperature as the ambient air coming outside from the cold on the inside, screwed it up. Then I came in here and I added, changed my loiter unlimited, got rid of that, changed it to a loiter for time period of 10, and then added a return to launch. And then of course again I came down here and changed this 100 to 30. Gotta keep doing that. Click here to write it to the platforms. So that was just auto mission that took off, went up to 30 feet, waited for 10 seconds and landed. That seemed to work pretty good. on the landing, it got to fighting with its GPS location and slowed down the landing sequence. But no big deal. That's what it's supposed to do. Go up 30 feet, count to 10, land. Can I get 2 to do this at the same time? Can I get 3 to do this at the same time? The problem is this is not what I want 3 to do at the same time. I'm just developing a testing method that I'm going to test all 3 platforms, the way they have to be set up to run 3 at a time. So then the next one was, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to do a circle. Radius I want to be 10 feet. I think this is in yards on this variable based on what I saw the platform do. We're going to continue to look at that. I'm going to do 6 waypoints instead of let it do its 20. I'm going to let it go to default direction. There we go. I can move home out here right now if I like. It won't matter where I move this. It arms to a certain home position when you arm the aircraft. It takes up a default altitude at that point and whatever GPS coordinate it's setting on as a home location when armed. So I had to come into this one, of course. I had to take my turn to launch and push it down to the bottom. Ding, 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 ding. Turn to launch at the bottom. Come back in here. Make all of these altitudes 30. This is how I finally figured out how I crashed on top of the car at Benchmark Auto Sales next day. Good place to buy a car. Okay, take off, loiter for 10 seconds. Do your circle. Return to launch and land. Okay. So then I had this, and I wrote that. Clicked here and wrote that, and we'll fly that one. So this one worked really well, in my humble opinion. I think it's the barometer needs to get used to the outdoors. Using that first flight or so, didn't seem to go correctly, especially that first one. It took a nosedive for the animal trap workers. So let's take off to 30 feet and loiter for 10 seconds. And there it is. Let's do our circle. And I'm going, oh crap. I'm going to fly over the road. And now, staying inside the yard. It's making its waypoints for the circle, which looks to be 10 meters to me, 30 feet, not 10 feet. Goes out, finishes its circle. Does its return to launch command, turns around, comes back to the launched GPS spot, resets to its yaw when it's armed also, and starts its descent for a landing. What more could you ask for? The 2 orange props in the back, you may have noticed that circle. The vehicle was pointing the next waypoint it was going to go to in the circle. We're going to change that up here and see what happens. So now I got the circle working. Oops, didn't mean to create that. Let's say delete waypoint. Delete waypoint gone. What I meant to do was I'm going to come right out here and I'm going to set a region of interest. I put it over here on the other side of the road in the woods as my region of interest. Of course, that puts that at the bottom of your to-do list here, so I had to come in here and, oops, let's float that on all the way up to be the second command in truth. Dink. Even before loader. Dink. And let's set it to 30 feet altitude. Tab out of that, yeah, too. Okay, so now we got takeoff, set region of interest, loader for 10 seconds, fly the circle, return, and land. We can shut that down. Oops. Click here to write that to the platform and fly that. Alright, so let's see how region of interest works. It's supposed to be a spot that the craft will always look at. There it is, 10-second loader, but you can see it rotated the yaw to the right towards where I have the region of interest marked over there in the woods on the other side of the street. As it starts its circle, you can see it is keeping the front of the platform pointed towards, so it causes loss of altitude when it rotates the way it did. But it kept the front of the vehicle pointed at the region of interest over in the woods. Here it is coming back to turn on. Reset. And land. So that's how those were set up for that region of interest. So we'll try a second one of those. Automatic takeoff to 30 feet. March towards the region of interest and loaders for 10 seconds. And it starts to do its circle. And as it flies backwards here to keep pointed towards the region of interest across the street, that's when it loses altitude. I'm going to check into that. I think change of yaw is causing this platform to lose altitude. Because I didn't like either one of them. And out there the battery got mushy. This is near the end of a good battery, so I took over and stabilized mode right there. Just put it back here and set it down. And then on the last flight that didn't work out that good, I just went ahead and opened my window here so I could see my region of interest, latitude and longitude right here. I grabbed a hold of it and I pulled it to right here in the yard. And as you can see, when you let it go, pop, the latitude and longitude for the due set region of interest right here changed. Okay, so now that I wrote that to the platform, and I flew that. The platform took off and started pointing towards the region of interest yaw. And just lost altitude for some reason. So I flipped it into stabilized mode and popped it back up. Started playing with it a little bit, trying to see what was going on with Seemed to be real responsive. Just changed the battery on it. Left to right. So I turned to go to the right towards the trees. Flying with the wind, I lost altitude. I should have made a slow turn at stayed at altitude and then actually added some throttle as I went with the wind. So I lost a lot of altitude going downwind there. Just barely rolled in the grass. Of course, I picked it up. Didn't think I'd hurt it much. But it seems it was more hurt than I thought it was. And here's the video you've already seen today of me deciding, nah, quit hand launching. Yep. Blade whizzes by your neck. I don't want to do that. Plus it torqued out of my hand, left to right. If it had been a rear or another prop that broke, it would have come back in my face. So, yeah, it was sort of my day of flying today. I just took it in the house with a broke blade. I'll do some more tomorrow. This is half of the blade, the piece of the blade that came flying at me to end the day today. The nick out of the center of it, I don't know if it hit the frame and did that as it broke, or I don't think it was like that when I was carrying it back across the yard, but it's a case of poor inspection, and that's 4 3/4 inches worth of blade that flew past my body. I don't think I'm going to be hand launching or hand catching anymore. It was kind of fun with a honey badger, but try to use my brains more later.